All right, everyone. So my name is Mackenzie Leigh. I'm from Philadelphia, and I shoot mostly glamour modeling. After seeing the first Muses in Tulum and the locations that you all went to, I had to be a part of the next one. And I was very lucky that I had a close friend recommend me. I found out with the first Muses event up in upstate New York about 3 years ago. Unfortunately, I was not able to go to that one because I had work commitments. And luckily for me, I had a close friend who recommended me to go the second year. So I attended 2 Muses up in upstate New York and then was lucky enough to join Bali. I was looking to get out of this trip mostly the experiences, the traveling and sightseeing, with also amazing photographers to capture the images along the way. I was also excited to meet new models. Some of my favorite trips around modeling involve traveling and then making new friends on the trips. This first takeover was everything and beyond. It's my first time in Asia. We got to do everything that I wanted to do on the trip so far, and with amazing people along the way. So I was especially excited to go on this trip with Alice in particular because I've been to previous events with her, and she not only takes care of the models, but she will make sure that you have an amazing experience with locations and the people who are here with her. So I trusted her even though I came in not necessarily knowing everything we were going to be doing. As a traveler and a bit of a control freak, it was a little scary to release that, but I had full faith that Alice would make sure we had an amazing time. Bali is incredible. It's hot, but the locations are out of this world. You can't find it, obviously, in the United States. So the people are incredibly lovely, almost overly kind, and want you to have an amazing experience while you're here. I've experienced that across the world, but it's a different kind of kindness here. It's very genuine. It was well worth the 24-hour trek to get here. So my favorite experience while in Bali, or the favorite shooting location, would be the first one, the waterfalls. In order to get me here, I had to keep looking at pictures of Bali to remind myself it would be worth the 24 hours of flying, and the waterfalls were incredible. Even the long trek down to the waterfalls was completely worth it. I liked the adventure of it all. The waterfalls were the peak of my trip, and I would say the rice fields were a close second. So a few of the models I had known from the States, but of course, on any trip I meet new models along the way, and every single girl that I got to work with was lovely, easy to work with, amazing models as well. So Alice did a great job with the selection of models, I'd say. And as well as with photographers, everyone was very kind and respectful of each other's shooting, and it was nice to get to try to shoot with every single person at different locations. It's always fun getting to travel with friends or models that you've already known and then get to add new friends along the way, especially with photographers. I've worked with only a handful, less than a handful, and then getting to work with them here, get to know them, see their work. Nice to be a part of their portfolio, and then they'll also be a part of mine. The most memorable moment was finishing shooting at the rice fields and getting caught in a rainstorm with the entire group and not being able to see when we were running through the water. I've never experienced that kind of rain before, and now looking back on it, it's probably one of the highlights of the trip. I've never seen anything like that any other country I've ever visited. And the green fields just went on and on and on and on. And being able to shoot at different elevations throughout the fields and have different perspectives, it was all just a very cool experience. So Bali was very different than other places I've been internationally to shoot. The beaches just had different landscapes than you can find in other places of the world. Alice had a picture on her Instagram with one of the photographers here, and that I used to inspire me to get here. So I found inspiration through the other models, watching them model and then I find shooting in other locations versus just a studio, it's a nice switch up. I prefer outdoor shooting than a studio. I find you can shoot in a studio anywhere in the world, but you can't find a waterfall anywhere in the world, or rice fields, a black sand beach. So coming to Bali just gives you more opportunity for outdoor shooting. I found through this experience almost a love of modeling again. It's nice to, again, get out of the studio, get out of the States, and be around other creative individuals. I found that coming to Bali revitalized my love of modeling. It's nice to switch up the locations, even if it's with the same photographer. Going from a studio to an outdoor location, it just is a completely different vibe, and it makes you find the love of traveling and art and putting those two things together. I found working with other creatives on this trip absolutely elevated my portfolio. Even watching other models and seeing how they viewed the scenery, how they would view a certain corner or a nook and cranny, how they utilize that, very inspiring. Very creative eyes on this trip. What this experience meant to me personally was that I am a good enough model to come all the way to Southeast Asia on the Muses event. It was nice that Alice had faith in my modeling and capabilities to allow me to come on this trip and keep up with all the other models. So every time I get to go on a trip with models and photographers, I feel re-inspired in the art of it all. Since I don't do this full time, I feel like I can kind of fall out of the art world. So coming back in, it's almost like I found my people. One word to describe this experience, I think if I had to choose, would be excitement. Overall, for the shooting, the locations, the people involved, the experiences outside of the shooting, getting to experience the culture. I find traveling the most exciting, but coming with this group, Muses specifically. Not only was Muses amazing with the locations we went to, we were taken care of with food along the way every single day, and we were made sure to be comfortable throughout the entire process. They were never forced to attend every single event. We were encouraged to go, and it was a very fun, relaxed setting. I would absolutely recommend any Muses event, especially Takeover, to any other creative if they are so lucky to be able to be selected to join. Again, being a control freak when it comes to traveling, I had complete faith in Alice to execute the trip perfectly, and I was not let down, not at all, one step of the way. She made sure that we had an incredible experience the entire time. I got to see everything I wanted to see, I got to do everything I wanted to do, and I got the shots that I came to get. I would say reach out, and if you're a photographer, I would not miss out on this event. She not only made sure the models were completely comfortable along the way, the photographers were hand-selected to join this group to make the experience better. I find this experience brings creatives outside of their usual spaces, and it allows you to see the world in a different way. You get to experience different cultures. Not only did we get to shoot in different locations, but we were brought to different shows and got to experience a culture, and it was just a nice way to get out and get a change of scenery. So my name is Mackenzie, and if you'd like to check out more of my work, you can check out the links down below.